No cat. I have these like teas that I drink.
It's just Steve's tea, mate. Bro really likes the teas. Let's get into it. Let's get her done. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Morning Wood. This is a sports show hosted by two idiots, and we are those two idiots. My name is Matthew. I'm joined with my good friend Jason. As always, he's on my right.
You're right. They're left.
Y'all's left. My right. Let's get it started with top of the morning news. We always do it. It's a little short one this morning. The newly acquired for your Ravens, actually, Tre'Davious White, he will not be playing tonight. He will not make his season debut. The acquisition was made, I think, on Tuesday. The Ravens said that it was too quick of a transition for him to play, but he will definitely make his start next week. Moving on, we did mention it in the recap of the Saints game, but obviously the Saints have fired Dennis Allen, head coach. This was a few days ago. Obviously, they're going to promote somebody within, but they need to find somebody.
Remember week 3, I tweeted that the Saints stink, and then someone's like, "We're still going to win the division." I don't think they've won since then. I want to go find that guy and just quote tweet him and just make him feel bad about himself, but I won't.
I mean, to be fair, like the first 2 weeks, they looked very good. But you were right.
That's the only time they look good.
That is the only
time.
I think since then, they might be one of the worst teams in NFL history because, good Lord, it is a lot of fugays. He's now the second coach to be fired this season. I could list off a couple more that are following.
Like 2 to be fired before like December. That feels like a lot.
I feel like the Saleh fire wasn't really deserved. This is deserved. No. Like they're bad. This is a bad football team, especially after how they looked the first 2 weeks. Not great for the Saints. Moving on, lastly, some good news for fantasy owners everywhere. CMC, the San Francisco running back, Christian McCaffrey, he did practice. He's practiced throughout the week. He in practice yesterday. He said that he had no pain anywhere in this man's body, which is good. And it is looking good for his availability on Sunday. And they always say the best ability is availability. And Christian McCaffrey is likely to return on Sunday to play football. It's been a while since we've last seen him do that. So that is exciting.
And big dub for the 49ers. They need it. Tight race in the NFC West. He makes a difference for sure.
Yes, I agree. They need him back, and they might start getting rolling here soon. Mm-hmm. That's top of the morning news. Football, full effect. Hockey's back. NBA's back.
A lot of sports. College basketball just started.
And college basketball starting.
Yeah. All the sports are here.
Everything besides the MLB.
All right. Let's move on to the best segment we have ever talked about, been on the internet ever. Antonio Brown, tweet of the day. Roll the clip, please. Thank you.
Kicks him in. Antonio Brown.
Go on social media, man. This is about us, nobody else, man.
Now, if you live in America, then something just happened for the American people here.
Did happen.
And Antonio Brown's passionate about it. And he was the Robin to 47 here. To Mr. 47. He's in the Batman suit here. And then we have a Robin here sitting there. It's Antonio Brown just being a guy.
It's just a great picture.
That's an insane picture. I might get it printed out and put it on my wall right here.
I might put that on a t-shirt.
It's actually fire. That's one of the best pictures I've ever seen. AB's Twitter for now until probably January, February, when that guy gets in office, is going to be electric, I guess.
I agree.
Kind of insane.
I agree.
But let's talk about football.
Let's talk about foosball.
We got to make our game picks, huh?
Yes, we do. We got to make our game picks. Let's start it off you get to take the lead on this one because your Ravens play
Thursday Night Football. I will be at the game tonight. The Bengals come to town. The last time we went there, it was 48-45, I believe. Some crazy scores. It was a shootout banger until the end of the game. Probably assuming it's going to be similar tonight. Hopefully the defense, for the Ravens at least, for my sake, show up a little bit. But I'm going to pick the Ravens at home, prime time. The bank's going to be rocking. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens as well, with the purple people eater helmets bringing out tonight.
Yeah, the new helmets as well. Those are sick.
I think this will be a good offensive game. This is a dream, parlay game.
Yeah,
probably so.
Cooking it up.
But yeah, I think you guys take care of business again at home.
Hopefully.
So give me the Ravens.
W. And it looks like we have a Munich game, a game in Germany. We have a 9:30 here this week.
9:30 in the morning.
We got Sunday football all day. Unfortunately, it's the Giants versus the Panthers in Germany.
Right.
How you feel about this one?
I feel like the population of Germany will never watch the NFL after this.
Why do we send these teams? Like we send the Jags. We sent the Jags twice to London. Now we send the Panthers and the Giants to Munich. Do we want them to like football, or like what is going on?
I don't know. I don't know what to feel about this game. I think as a team, the Giants have a better overall team than the Panthers, but the Panthers are coming off a win in the division. It's not a home or there's no home field advantage in this one. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I like Bryce Young more as a quarterback than Daniel Jones. So I'm gonna go with the Panthers on this one. I actually had a question mark in this game because I won't be watching. So
I will be.
I'm not getting up for this.
It's 9:30, so we're out here.
Give me the Panthers.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to pick the Giants. No real reason. I like their defense a little bit more. I think they have a solid defense. It just all depends on Daniel Jones moving the ball and scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
So give me the Giants. Yeah.
That's a who knows what game. But moving on, we got the New England Patriots going to Chicago where the weather's starting to get a little bit colder, a little bit tougher. And I did say that the Bears were only going to win 2 games the rest of the season. Luckily, this is one of those wins at home. You should win. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't. But give me the Bears at home. That defense is still they're good. That's a good defense. And the Patriots, I don't think Drake May is going to have much success. So give me Chicago.
Yeah, I'm on the same side. I think the Bears get this one done. They need a bounce back win, obviously, in that division. I think the defense does show up, like you said. Caleb Williams does enough. Maybe DeAndre Swift gets going a little bit. But yeah, give me the Bears.
Yeah.
Then we have the Colts, or the Bills go to the Colts. Kind of an interesting game. I'm going to be on the Bills, of course, in this one. I just think the way the Colts looked on Sunday night on the road against the Vikings, Joe Flacco didn't look that great in that offense. I just think the Bills have too much firepower on the offensive side now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on the Bills with this one. I think could be a decently close game if they, maybe take the Colts lightly, but I got the Bills. I think this is their 4th straight win they're coming into, so make it 5 in a row.
I think the Colts can move the ball a little bit better than they did on the Vikings. The Bills' defense to me is sometimes a little suspect. Miami didn't really have any issues moving the ball on them.
Yeah.
But I just think the Bills score more points.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings on their bounce-back win after losing 2 straight. They go to Jacksonville, who I don't even know what they are anymore, really. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. They haven't looked great. I'll make it short. I'm going with the Vikings. Better coaching staff, better quarterback, better everything right now. So give me the Vikings.
I'm going to pick the Vikings as well. I'm interested to see what the Jags spread is because I feel like this is a trap game for sure. The Jags play everyone, I think, decently okay. They have an offense that can score. But I think the Vikings will get it done. So give me the Vikings.
Yeah, our stat guy just sent it to me, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are getting 4 points at home.
I thought it would definitely be more than that. I don't really love it. honestly. I thought it'd be like 7 or 8. Honestly.
I don't really love it.
4 points against the
Hey,
Vikings.
maybe they believe in the Jags a little bit.
See? You never
Might
know.
be. You never know.
The Chiefs, the undefeated Chiefs, 8-0 in a division game against I believe it's the 5-4 Broncos, 6 and
they're 5-4.
5-4.
Yeah.
They've been playing decent. I mean, the Ravens just dominated them, but could be a tight game at least, maybe, hopefully. The Broncos defense is decent. D-Hop coming out party last week, 2 touchdowns on Monday night. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs at home. As a rookie quarterback, you got to face the best coach in the league right now. That's a tough task. And that Chiefs defense, again, they kind of let the Raiders move the ball a little bit. The Bucs move the ball with no weapons really, but give me the Chiefs defense. I think they give Bo Nix a couple problems on Sunday.
I agree.
Moving on, we got another division game. We got the Falcons. They go to New Orleans. Derek Carr was back last week, but they fall to the Panthers. Eesh. How are you feeling about this one?
This is easy. This is Kirk Chains written all. This is easy money. Give me the Falcons, baby.
Okay, I was thinking not as much easy, but I'm gonna go with the Falcons as well. But I feel like it's just one of those.
The Saints stink. They are horrid.
They're bad, but I just feel like
they just gave away their best player on defense. Like they're chalking it.
Yeah, give me the Falcons on the road. I think it's closer than you might think. I think it's just a trap game, but give me the Saints just for no reason, or not. Give me the Falcons. Give me the Falcons, but I think for no reason, even though they just lost their coach, lost their best player, maybe on the team, definitely on defense. But I don't know. I think it'll be closer than you think.
Yeah, they might lose by 15. Then we have an interesting NFC matchup here. The 49ers go to Tampa Bay and the Bucs. I really like this Bucs team. It's unfortunate that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are both hurt. Two are obviously their best offensive players. But I like how Baker Mayfield's playing. He's got them in every game pretty much so far. I got to take the 49ers with Christian McCaffrey coming back. I think he's obviously one of the best players in the NFL and obviously a difference maker, and he's probably going to score 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. The Bucs have had some banger games, back-to-back weeks now, but they've just been hurt. They did obviously give the Chiefs a run for the money. I wouldn't be surprised if they do the same thing for San Francisco. Again, I'm on board with Baker. I think he's just a gamer. Even in losses, it's just still fun to watch him play. But like you said, the San Francisco 49ers, they're just too much. Again, they're getting it rolling. I have a feeling when they get everybody back, this is just not a fun team to play. Give me San Francisco on the road. And, maybe I don't want to say a big game for Christian if he comes back, but, I'd like to see him have, a decent game.
Yeah.
And then, moving on, we have our game of the week in the NFL. My Steelers, they go to Washington. We're going to do something different now. Our matchups of the week, we're not going to pick them until we break down the game. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more spicy. So we get to break it down, give you guys a little bit more insight, and then make our picks. But definitely a banger of a game, and I'm excited because this is, I think, the first time we've had the Steelers on the matchup of the week. So that's exciting stuff. So we'll move on to the Titans. Our sleeper teams of the year matchup. Believe it or not, your Titans.
Titans are going to lose by 80.
Go to my Chargers, who are looking good. They didn't. I think of the games that they've won, the last game that they didn't look great was the game against Arizona. But they're kind of picking it up, and I'm not kidding. Justin Herbert might be sleeper MVP of the year, and I'm not saying he's going to win it, but just if there was a true who's most valuable to their team. It's that guy because he's just doing everything for them. But give me the Chargers at home to continue to win. I like what Harbaugh is doing. I think this is going to be a team that, as the year progresses, the more he gets time with the team and to be around and build that culture and connections. I think the Chargers are going to continue to get better. So I think it starts again with the Titans.
Titans coming off a big time win against the Patriots in overtime here, but I like that Mason Rudolph actually doesn't look horrible. As a quarterback. Really. But yeah, give me the Chargers. I think just the running game, what Justin Herbert is doing, and then that defense is kind of showing up for the Chargers a little bit.
I mean, they're the number 1 points per game team right now in the NFL.
So, give me the Chargers at home.
I agree.
Then we have the Jets go to Arizona cross country in the 4 p.m. slate. This is kind of an interesting game. I've been like high on the Jets, just like on paper, they are like one of the best personnel teams. They just haven't been able to put it together. They are coming off a big win. Who did they beat? I forget.
They beat the.
It was a.
Who did they beat last week? I know they had a good offensive game.
Yeah, like
the Texans.
Adams.
The
Texans.
Texans.
That's right, the Texans. I'm gonna pick the Jets again. Obviously, a must win.
Wow.
I think the Cardinals are still kind of fugazi. Like they are playing okay, but I think like that offense, the Jets' offense inside in Arizona. Like I think the weather has been a big problem in some of their games where they're a little slow. So give me the Jets.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be on the other side of this, and I think the reason is just because like Arizona's kind of a gritty team. They just have a bunch of dudes, Connor, obviously McBride, Kyler Murray when he's not grinding COD. Like this team actually, like, I mean, they're leading the division at 5-4, and I don't think it's for a fluke of a reason. Again, they gave Buffalo kind of a run for their money in Buffalo week 1. They've had some low gains, but they've had some decent, wins. I just think they're a gritty team. They're not good. They're not bad. They're just there to give teams problems, and I think they give the Jets a little bit of problems. And I mean, both of these teams, like, it's kind of like a toss. Like, I have a question mark for this game, but I'm just leaning more towards the home team. Usually I do in question mark games. So give me Arizona, and I think a close, another gritty game, really.
Game. Like last week I watched like the whole Bears Cardinals game, and like the Cardinals looked okay, but just the Bears just looked horrible. So it wasn't like the Cardinals got a big time win, like, and they dominated. Yeah. I mean, they did dominate, but it was just because the Bears stink.
Especially the O-line was very bad in that game.
And then we have a big. Normally it's a big division game. The Eagles go to Dallas and play the Cowboys. Cowboys are 3-5. Eagles are 6-2. I like the Eagles. I mean, the Cowboys. I hate Nick Sirianni, and he'll probably go for 2, and we'll go for it on 4th and 5, up like 5 points. But give me the Eagles. Saquon, AJ Brown, the whole offense. Jalen Hurts has been getting it done on the ground and in the air. Cowboys are dead. They don't have anything going for them. So give me the Eagles.
I'm on the same side as you, but I do have a question mark. I have Philly question mark because I feel like this is a very easy like trap game because like you said, like you said, Dallas has really nothing going for them, but they would love to like ruin the Philly,
for sure,
Philadelphia Eagles season. I wouldn't be surprised if Sirianni and them I could see them coming out flat, not prepared for over.
That's Nick Sirianni football.
This could be a Nick Sirianni legacy game here. Give me Philly, but I think in maybe like a close, like we look like doo-doo and still win type of game for some reason.
I hope it's like a shootout. Like I feel like it could be like a shootout type of game.
On paper, it could be.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys don't have any. Well, they did get Jonathan Mingo from the Panthers, so we'll see. They can't run the football, so.
I mean, they paid the guy money to throw it. He might need to slang that thing.
Hopefully he can. Then Sunday Night Football, kind of a banger of a game here. Lions go to Houston. How you feeling about this one?
This is a banger. If the Houston Texans play Houston Texans football and CJ Stroud picks it up a little bit, he's going to need to because they got a wagon coming into town. I'm obviously going to go with Detroit. I've picked them, I think, every week it feels like, and I've only lost one of those games. I'm going to continue that train. Give me Detroit to come in. I think DeMeco Ryans, honestly, I think he does a heck of a job coaching. I think CJ Stroud is just like, when they win and they win big, it's usually when CJ's playing good, but when he's not, it's like, oh boy, obviously. But I think it could be like, if CJ Stroud plays good, this should be a really good game. Another maybe prove it game.
Feels like a must win for the Texans. Feels like it a little bit.
It kind of does, not for the division, but just like I was
competition standpoint.
Yeah, to kind of show everybody like, hey, we're here. Another kind of prove it game. They had that with Green Bay. They almost won that one. They lose on a game winning field goal, but Yeah, kind of another. You got one of the best NFC teams coming to town. Let's see if you guys can maybe take care of business. You never know. Make a statement, Houston.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah, I also like the Lions in this one. Excuse me. They just won. They just proved they can win outside. They go back inside. That offense will probably put up 35, 40 points. The Texans are going to have to score the football, and I just don't see from watching their past couple of games, like the offense does not look like they're going to be able to keep up with the Lions. So give me the Lions.
Yeah, we'll see. Interesting game. And then we got Monday Night Football. We got the Dolphins. I think they're like 2-6. I forget, something like that. They go to the Rams, who have picked it up a little bit here in the last couple of weeks. They've had some big wins. How are you feeling about this one?
This one seems like good on paper as far as like a betting game, like a same game parlay, like kind of game. With the two potential offenses, haven't really seen it from the Dolphins yet since Tua's been back. Tyreek Hill still hasn't had that Tyreek Hill type of game with the Dolphins since like week 1.
Yeah,
but I like the Rams in this one at home. They've looked different since having Cooper Kupp and Puka back. So give me the Rams.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think we're on a majority of the same picks here, but give me the Rams at home. I think, like I said last week or in last episode, but when this Rams team gets healthy, I think they're gonna, kind of dog some people. And that race in the NFC West is really close with them, Arizona, Seattle, and San Francisco. So there's a big win if they win this game that keeps them ahead of the race in that division. So. But those are our pick. We got 4 teams on a bye week. The Browns, the Packers, the Raiders, and the Seahawks. A couple of those teams maybe need a bye week like Green Bay. They need to get healthy. The Browns, they should just move conferences into like the MAC or something. Seattle, they need to really figure it out. And then the Raiders, maybe they'll I don't know, figure something out. But those 4 teams are on a bye week, and those are our NFL week. Is this 10?
It will be 10.
Week 10 picks.
W.
Close race.
You're up one
one
pick on me for the season.
I'm up 1.
So let's go into our matchup of the week. We still have one game to pick here.
Yes.
Your Steelers go to
Come on,
the Commanders, baby. Big
game.
Big game. 6-2 Steelers, fresh off a bye this week. Visit the 7-2 Commanders. Both teams have won 3 straight. We should see some newly acquired weapons on the field for both teams. Marshawn Lattimore probably, I'm assuming, makes his debut for the Commanders, getting used to that defense. But defense is a lot easier to kind of adjust to than learning an offense. And then Mike Williams, is he going to be ready for the Steelers offense? We'll see. I don't know. Do you know any news about him like being ready or anything?
I haven't heard that he's not playing. So
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure he'll suit up, but like, how many snaps is he going to be in?
He'll get in there a couple of plays and stuff.
But this feels like a step up in competition for both teams. The Steelers have won 3 straight against teams with only 2 wins. The Commanders have won 3 straight games against the Panthers, Bears, and Giants. So it feels like, okay, this is a prove-it game kind of for both teams. Washington has the 3rd most rushing yards per game in the NFL, 139.6 per game, and the Steelers' defense is allowing the 4th least amount of yards on the ground at 90 yards per game. That's kind of my key to the game for both teams. The Ravens only allowed 52 rushing yards to the Commanders and made Jaden Daniels the most likely going to be the offensive rookie of the year. Make him beat you with his arm, and I think the Steelers are going to want to do the same. But if the Commanders can get that run game going, I think that's how they're going to win this game. If they can't run the ball, I don't think they win this game. I'll wait to pick.
Okay.
For your pick. I already know who you're picking, obviously, but I just want to see what you got to say.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a great matchup for us. Like I've talked about throughout the year that we haven't really played it. I think the best team we've beaten really has been the Jets. I know they're not great, but just as a team, as a personnel, I think that was the best win we've had. And I feel like this is a playoff game. This feels like a playoff game for some reason. Like you said, kind of a prove-it game. 2 very balanced teams, good on offense, good on defense. We're coming off a bye week. I think that's, leads in our favor. The best defense in the NFL, in my opinion. I think they should have a good game plan. They got a lot of film. time in the film room to kind of look at, Daniels, what he does well, and game plan for the rookie. We are going into a tough environment. That fan base, it's been a while since they've been good. They're going to be rowdy. They're fired. Yeah, they're fired up. They're excited. They're bought into their team, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to just walk in and we're going to take care of business. They also have a great coaching staff. I actually think they have the advantage of that in this game. I think their coaching staff, top to bottom, is slightly better than ours, to be honest with you. So again, tough environment, good coaching staff, well coached teams. They don't make a lot of mistakes. It's hard to cause those mistakes, and they usually make the other teams do the mistakes. So. Both teams, like you said, new pieces to the puzzle. We did on both sides, but mainly the plugins that we're going to see is we get an offensive guy, they get a defensive guy. I don't think they'll match up with each other. I'm assuming Lattimore will be more on like Pickens and stuff in that assignment. But regardless, I think both guys, they're going to have an immediate impact in this game, their first weeks, in my opinion. Like I said, a big prove-it game for both of these teams. Washington coming in this game, their offense is scoring 29.2 a game. That's third in the NFL, and our defense is only allowing 14.9 points per game. On defense, that's second in the NFL. So we have the third best scoring offense versus the second best scoring defense. That's obviously my key matchup in this game. I like to see, which side of the ball wins that, especially in the trenches. I feel like if we can control Daniels in the pocket, not let him with those rollout, those usually turn into big plays when he's rolling to his right, or he just is running everywhere. And the key thing for Steeler fans to look for and be excited about in this matchup is we are usually good when we're facing a mobile style quarterback. And the reason you should be excited is because we play the best mobile quarterback in the league twice a year, and we're 4-2 in those games against Lamar Jackson. He usually doesn't have a great game when we play him, usually because our outside linebackers are very good at containing him, and we don't usually let him run all over the place and create big plays. I like to see us to have a familiar game plan, against Daniels, who is, again, a similar style quarterback. Also, Mike Tomlin is 25-6 against rookie quarterbacks, usually well-established coaches like him, Andy Reid, Belichick, guys like that, hardballs. It's hard to beat those coaches who have seen it all. They've seen it forever. It's hard to kind of succeed against that. I like to see us have a good game plan. With that being said, I don't think the pick is as easy as you might have thought. Like I went back and forth on this because we are going into a tough environment. That is a good football team. The only reason I'm leaning on for me to pick the Steelers is just our success against Lamar and how similar Jaden Daniels is, and he's a rookie. If this was like if it was like maybe even like a Geno Smith who's been around for a while, I would maybe lean more towards like the Commanders if they had like a little bit more of a seasoned vet at quarterback. But just because it's a rookie and we tend to have better games against Lamar, I'm going to take the Steelers. I think this is I think this is a 3-point swing game. Like I don't really see too much of a leverage anywhere on this. I think it's a great game.
I just don't know. I don't know where to go either. Like
it's a really tough. Like either team can win this game. I feel
like if it was in Pittsburgh, I'd definitely pick the Steelers. But I think like in Washington, I think they're going to show up, hopefully. This is a 1 p.m. game, right? 1 p.m.?
It is 1, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I'll pick the Commanders just to be on the other side of it. Obviously, I think this, my brain is saying the Steelers are going to win this game, but I'll just pick the Commanders just because I need to get one game on you. So
yeah, it's going to be a tough environment. Those fans, it's not I wouldn't be surprised if we have some line of scrimmage problems and stuff.
Yeah.
But
interesting to see how Russ will look against. The Commanders' defense is okay. They haven't been amazing, but they've been pretty solid.
I think they're a pretty good red zone defense. They give up a decent amount of yards.
Don't break.
Yeah, they're well coached. They got some good players. So, and they just added a nice piece in the secondary. So, but that's our matchup.
That's the matchup of the week. Steelers, Commanders, big game for both teams.
I love it.
Trying to stay in first place in the division for both of them.
It's a great game.
Let's move on to our Week 10 power rankings.
It's one of my favorite segments. I love this.
I'll go first, I guess. The Chiefs are 8-0. I really almost put the Lions above them just because the Lions have 10 more convincing wins, even though they've only played 8 games.
10 more convincing wins. Yeah, I'm with you on the same. I'm same. Honestly, not much is changing for my top five. I have Kansas City at 8-0. They're still number one. Again, I think it's just the defense. I think that's the biggest, tell right now. Just how well this has to be one of the best statistical defenses Andy Reid's had with Mahomes for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then I have the Lions at number 2. They haven't swapped for me. They've just been dominating, and they probably continue to dominate this week.
Yeah, I got the Lions as well. Going into Houston, we'll see. I don't think it changes much. I think they improved to 8-1. They don't move for me. And on paper, I test this is probably the best team in the NFL right now. They're
dominating.
They win in every way.
I actually moved the Vikings down and put my Ravens up at 3, just from the eye test of watching the last 3 games from the Vikings and 3 games from the Ravens. Even though we lost to the Browns and shouldn't have, I just think the Ravens are a better team than the Vikings just from watching the past couple games.
That's fair. I mean, my top 5 doesn't move. I still have Buffalo at 3 at 7-2. Again, that 4-game win streak since they played you guys, they've looked way better. I think Amari Cooper adds a lot to the offense. I think that's just going to continue to improve. We've already seen Coleman kind of have some breakout, look better. So I still have Buffalo. And I think what we talked about, obviously the worst thing about Buffalo is the defense. I think with the weather that they're going to start getting here soon, I think it's just going to help tremendously, obviously.
Yeah.
And I like McDermott to kind of, rally the boys on defense. That's what he's known for.
Yeah. I have the Vikings coming in at 4. I just think they're finding ways to win games. I mean, they did not look great against the Colts, but Joe Flacco kind of just didn't look good either. I still like that defense a lot. Sam Darnold has been a little bit inconsistent, but I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I have Minnesota at 4, at 6-2. I think the one thing the 2 variables that I can continue to count on is Justin Jefferson is that guy.
Yeah.
Every week, that man will just continue to prove he's the best receiver in football. And then, like you said, the defense. I think Flores is still the best defense coordinator in the league. That man should be a head coach for sure. And I think they had some lulls, but I wouldn't be surprised. I know they have some division games coming up, but I think they're going to still continue to win or be in those games.
Yeah. I have the Bills at 5. There's something I don't trust about the Bills. I don't know what it is. They probably should have lost to the Texans.
They definitely should.
And Tyler Bass hits a 61-yard field goal against the Dolphins. They could easily be 4-4 right now. I still think they're a good team. As long as Josh Allen is on their team, they're going to be a top 5 team. So I have the Bills right there.
Yeah, I have the Ravens at 5, at 6-3 again. Y'all had a huge win last week against the Broncos. It's hard for me to move my top 5 because nobody's lost in the last week and everybody looks really good. I feel like those are the teams that are just they're well coached. You guys, most of them have really good quarterbacks, obviously like Lamar, and I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 weeks they're back in the top 3 for me or something.
I have the Packers at 6. I'm still a believer in the Packers.
It's crazy.
If a healthy Jordan Love, I think they're solid. They just got dominated by the Lions, but I mean, everyone's getting dominated by the Lions, so I think the Packers are still up there for me.
Yeah, I actually have my Steelers. They're the first team that moved in this ranking, but it's only because I dropped a few teams down. We didn't play, but I have us just sliding up a spot. We're at 7-2. Again, we already talked about a big game against the Commanders. That'll really show me where we're at as a football team, and then I'll kind of go from there on the season.
I have the Eagles coming in at 7. I think if Nick Sirianni wasn't their coach, I think they're a top 5 football team. Yeah, honestly, their offense is Saquon, and that offense feels unfair almost. It's almost like Derrick Henry going to the Ravens, Saquon going to the Eagles. They had already had weapons, and they just add a piece at running back. So give me the Eagles at 7.
Yeah, I think my 7 and 8 are kind of interchangeable because they're the same 7 and 8 as you, just different spots. But I have Washington at 7-2, slightly above the Eagles. I think the only edge I give to Washington is their coaching staff. I like them more. I trust them more than Philly. I know Philly did make it to a Super Bowl with Nick, but I just, like you said, he's continuing to show this might be one of the only teams in the NFL that's their talent outweighs their coaching staff. And that offense, like you said, that offense should score 30 points a game easily. I mean, and if they don't, majority of the time it's because they're probably just cruising and running the ball with Saquon, where they don't have to. But on paper, I mean, this offense is frightening.
Yeah.
And they're going to win them a lot of games. So I got Philly, I have Washington above them, but I just trust the coaching staff a little bit more, just a little bit.
Yeah. I have the Commanders coming in at number 8. I think they've been like in this bottom like 6 through 10 for me pretty much all season. This is a big game, obviously against the Steelers. Like whoever wins this game, I have the Steelers at 9. Like they'll probably jump to like 5 or 6. Whoever wins that game.
Yeah, I have Philly coming in, like I said, at 8. Again, just a good football team. It's hard to. They're definitely the worst coached top 10 team. I feel like easily.
Yeah,
and that's what keeps them a little bit out of the way for me. We'll see. You know, it's hard to judge them because they're not going to really compete in the division because they have it. I feel like in the bag. We'll see. Like I said, it could be a slip up game in Dallas. We'll see after that. If they convincingly win in Dallas and they're just like, you know, head and shoulders above everybody, then we'll see where they move in my top 10. But I have Philly at 8.
I have the Steelers moving up one spot just because the Texans fall down for me. Obviously, like I said, big game this week. I think if they control this game and they don't really let the Commanders stay in it, like they play like really good defense, like they probably will, they'll obviously jump up for me. But I have the Steelers at 9. I just need a prove-it game from the Steelers, and this is the week to do it.
Yeah, I have Green Bay falling to 9. They fall 3 spots. So I had Pittsburgh moving up 1. Washington moves up 2. After that, I mean, they've had 2 close wins with the Giants, and I forget who they played before that. But I had Philly moving up twice because they dominate in Cincinnati. But I have Green Bay falling 3 spots. They get crushed by the Lions. Again, there's just something like that, like how you feel about Buffalo is how I feel about Green Bay. Like they're a great football team on paper. I like LaFleur, but they just continue to have like these lulls. And I mean, what's Jordan Love as a starter? I don't even know what his record is this year as a starter, but they're at 6-3. I haven't fallen 3 spots. They need a bye week. I think this is a perfect time for them. We'll see how they look after the bye week. I still think a top 10 team for sure. Jordan Love leading again the NFL in touchdowns and interceptions. I do like him. Again, a lot of these northern teams, when the weather starts getting cold, they're going to have a huge home field advantage in those games. So we'll see.
I have the Texans rounding out my top 10. They just don't look good right now. Without Nico Collins and without Stephon Diggs, it's they're just putting everything on Tank Dell as a receiver. Joe Mixon's still obviously running the football pretty well. I think they need to lean on him probably even more than they already are. To grind out teams, but I think the Texans are falling right there for 10.
I have them in the same spot. Again, another prove it game. They have Detroit coming in town. If they can battle with Detroit and keep it within like a 3-4 point game, that'd probably be impressive to me. Obviously, if they win it, that would just be like, okay, they're for real. Tough task to do. Can they do it? Sure. I think they have a good coaching staff to do it. They got players. But I would like to see them just battle. Just don't let what happened to Green Bay do to you guys. Don't just roll over and let a great team just stomp you guys. Yeah. If they can prove to me, especially kind of limited offensively at weapons, that'd be pretty impressive for me.
Big game for their defense as well. If they can kind of limit the Lions,
they got some tools too. They might they might shock some people defensively. I just want to see them keep it close.
Yeah,
like literally, that's it.
That's it.
That's our top 10s.
That's the power rankings for week 10. I like it. I like it. Let's move on to some college football.
I love college football this year. It's been great.
We have a banger this week that I'm excited to talk about. But let's get to our picks this week. We have, 6 games to pick through week 11, starting with kind of a banger.
It is a banger. This is the best unranked matchup we've seen all year.
South Carolina goes to Vanderbilt here. South Carolina obviously coming off a massive win against Texas A&M.
Yep.
I'm going to go with South Carolina. I think they just keep that momentum going into Vanderbilt. I know Vanderbilt's been like a Cinderella team this year against everyone, but I like the way the South Carolina team's moving right now.
Yeah, I have a question mark for this game because this is 2 really well coached teams. They play really hard. I mean, both of these teams will give any team I feel like fits in the country. I'm gonna lean with the home team just because both of these teams have had really great games and some not so much. But Vandy's looked more consistent throughout the season. I think they have the better win, obviously against Alabama at home. I think this is a very close game. If they can control Sellers in that offense, I think that's the key matchup in this is just if they can control Sellers as at quarterback. I like them to win. I think it's a really close game, though. I think this is just a really fun game to watch. Yeah. But I'm going to take the home team. I like Vandy to pull this one out.
I like that.
Then we move on to the most fraudulent team in the country. Maybe. Not team, but like their quarterback is so bad. Number 3, Georgia goes into Ole Miss.
This is a banger, kind of.
This is a banger. This could have been game of the week, but we got another one as a choice. But I'll let you go first.
I don't know about this game. Like,
yeah, you do.
I don't.
You do. You're gonna have to go with the guy who threw 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, but like if Ole Miss has been just a little bit more consistent, they probably should have beat LSU. Like they definitely should have beat LSU.
Their worst game was Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pick Ole Miss. Why not? I'll pick Ole Miss.
Yes.
Why not? I mean, at home. Kind of they need it for the playoff. So they're going to show up Jackson Dart. Why not throw 6 touchdowns? Why don't you?
Yeah, I agree. No, I think this is a perfect pick for you because I agree. I don't know. I'm just honestly the only thing I'm undecided about is if I take Carson Beck's prop on over 3.5 interceptions for this game. I think he throws about 2 or 3 more in this one. Man. The thing that scares me for Georgia is they're playing a quarterback that's going to score touchdowns off of turnovers. Like I know, the Bulldogs defense has been playing better, but they should have lost to a second and third string quarterback against Florida at home. They're going to a must-win Ole Miss team.
Yeah.
Who they're coming off of. I mean, Jackson Dart, that offense just had like 600 yards. He threw like 5 or 6 touchdowns or something.
Yeah.
I just trust them more. I
that
trust
Ole
that
Miss, defensive line is pretty solid as well. I believe they get pressure on the quarterback.
That's all you have to do to beat Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Because he will throw it to the Ole Miss, and Jackson Dart's going to score touchdowns. Lock that in.
Say less.
Then
we have Bama at LSU. We will pick our winners after. That is our matchup of the week. We will wait to pick that game after we break it down a little bit.
Absolutely.
Bama at LSU. Kind of nutty.
Banger.
Bang.
Moving on, we got Oklahoma. They go to number 25, Missouri, kind of coming off a absolute fraudulent dismantle from Alabama. Oklahoma, by the way, in their last... Yeah. Oklahoma, they should not have 4 losses on the season. I like them in this game to go into Missouri and win. How are you feeling about this game?
I just they have the freshman. I believe he's a true freshman quarterback.
He is a true freshman.
I just think it's going to be too the Missouri team I don't love. But I've watched a couple Oklahoma games and their offense just does it looks bad. Their defense is solid. I feel like this could be a really low scoring game. I don't know what the total is. It's probably in the 40s, which is pretty low for this team, for these two teams. But I'm going to take Missouri just because it's at home, and I just don't think Oklahoma can score enough points.
Yeah. So Oklahoma, just for some insight, in the last 6 games they've had, their 4 losses have been to number 6 Tennessee, Texas at number 1, South Carolina, and then at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Now, again, I know their offense hasn't looked great, but those are pretty good teams. Obviously, that's a tough stretch of 6 games. I just think that they'll squeak out one in Missouri. Like you said, I wouldn't be shocked if I look at the final score and it's 23-20.
Yeah. Big ACC game, I guess. Not anymore. Clemson coming off a bad loss. They go to Virginia Tech. How you feel about this one? I'll let you start.
I actually had a question mark in this game. I don't really know how I feel about this one because like Clemson really had their season in the bag, wrapped up in a little bow after they had lost to Georgia. All they needed to do, I know it's easy to say, but all they needed to do was win out. They unfortunately drop a big game to Louisville, whose offense, I said after we played them, they will move the ball, they will put up points. Virginia Tech, by the way, this is an interesting thing to look at. In their last 5 games, okay, they're 3-2. The 2 games they lost to was at my Miami Hurricanes by 4, which technically speaking, they should have won that game because we caught a Hail Mary or I don't even remember what it was, but it should have went their way. It didn't. And then they lost at Syracuse by 7 points. So they've lost both of those games by 11 points. They've beaten everybody else since then in that stretch.
And it was an overtime game. It wasn't like
and it was an overtime
touchdown.
Yeah. So I think I think I'm going to take the Virginia Tech at home. I'm going to go with them at home. I think Clemson, their season's done. I think that Dabo might even lose locker room down the stretch here because they know that they're not going to make it, I don't feel like. So give me Virginia Tech at home. They've been a consistent team the last 5 weeks, and I like them to maybe squeak one out at home.
I'm just going to go the other side. I don't know. I think maybe Clemson coming off a loss. I know they're not going to make the playoff, and they probably know that in the locker room, but I don't know. I think maybe they just the personnel, I think, obviously is better on Clemson. They got to put something good on tape for next year if they're going to enter the transfer portal or something, whatever. I just think the personnel just shows up a little bit more for Clemson.
That's fair.
On the road. Then
we got my second favorite team in the country, the number 20 ranked Colorado Buffalo. It's kind of shocking after how they looked the first 3 weeks of the season. I didn't think they were going to be more than 4 wins this year, but they're proving me wrong, and they might have a chance to do that because they go to Texas Tech, and I'm choosing Texas Tech. Are we kidding me? Yeah. Give me Texas Tech at home to beat these overrated Buffalo and this Fugaze Heisman winner they have.
I think I'm on Texas Tech as well. I think it's going to be a tough game for them. They've had some good wins, but I think when Colorado comes to town, as if you're whoever team you are, you want to beat them just because of all the noise around them. So they're going to play the best, and they want to beat Colorado and shut them up. So give me Texas Tech.
I agree with you there. I agree.
So I am 38-17 on the season. I believe these are updated. Actually, let me check real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might want to double check that. I think they should be
38-17, 30-25.
Yeah,
that's correct. So I'm up 8 on you. We have a chance to get back a little bit depending on who you pick for Bama LSU. But we're on the opposite side of 2 of them.
Yeah. We might be on the opposite.
Oh wait, 3 actually.
Yeah, we might be on the opposite side of 4 by the end of this breakdown.
Are we?
I don't know. We're about to find out. Let's talk about it. Our matchup of the week. We got number 11 Alabama. They go into number 15 LSU. We got a prime time SEC show down in the Bayou. This is a banger. This is one of the the prestiges of the SEC in the last, I'd say, decade and a half. LSU has won 14 consecutive games in Tiger Stadium. But Bama is 8-2 in the last 10 matchups of this SEC rivalry. But LSU fans, something to look forward to. This ain't your grandpa's Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, they're 1-2 on the road this season. That's not like them. That's not a Nick Saban esque team. I believe the key matchup in this game is going to be the coaching staffs and the quarterbacks. Both have been great some games, and both have been not so great and shaky at times this season. Milroe coming off a big win against Missouri. He didn't throw a touchdown. I believe he ran one in. Again, the offense in that game started slow. I know they shut him out, but I feel like this offense is just they're not clicking. They got good pieces. They got a good backfield with both of their running backs. They have obviously maybe the best under 18-year-old in the country we've ever seen. And I don't know. I just want to see him. I need to see them execute. They're going to need to on the road against LSU. And then obviously Nussmeier is coming off a nightmare of a week against the Aggies, throwing 3 interceptions. The lights were a little bit too bright on the road. Let's see if that changes at home. This is literally a do or die. This is why it's our game of the week. This is a do or die game on the line. Both teams cannot afford another loss if they want to make it to the dance. This is a nut up or shut up game. And I know it's going to be electric down there.
It is.
Down there in the bayou. Again, just big, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but just high stakes, okay? High stakes in this game. Must win. This is a huge game. Again, we've seen these teams battle over the last decade, and I just know it's a big SEC matchup. It's prime time, 7:30. That place is going to be rocking. This game is going to come down to either, again, both of those coaching staffs and quarterbacks, whoever limits the mistakes, whoever causes more mistakes, and just executes. And, you're going to have to, score or get something good off of the mistakes that other teams are going to make.
Yeah.
They're going to have to execute and limit any sort of, again, penalties. It's going to be loud. It's going to be loud. Okay. No penalties, no turnovers. Whoever, has a more buttoned up team. I feel like both of these coaching staffs too, they've been rocky all season. Again, this is a make or break game, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm pumped for this one. Like ESPN, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit on the call, 7:30 Saturday night. It's going to be a banger. The loser of this game is going to be planning their vacation for Christmas and New Year's because they're not going to be playing in the college football playoff this year. Alabama traveling to Death Valley, primetime, 100,000 fans packing that stadium. It's going to be a tough environment. Alabama hasn't been that disciplined this year either. They've had a lot of penalties, especially on offense. They're going to have to, like you said, keep it buttoned up on the road here if they want to get something going on offense. Alabama lost their last 2 road games this season under first-year coach Kalen DeBoer. They got to start quickly. The only quick start they had, it feels like, was against Georgia, and then they almost blew it in the second half. But other than that, against Vanderbilt, they came out slow. They were trying to play catch-up the whole game. Especially they have to get out to a good start on the road in LSU. They can't put themselves in a hole early. The Tigers, on the other hand, I don't think they can put the game in Nussmeier's hands. They got to run the football. In their loss to Texas A&M, they had 24 rushing yards for the entire game. They were winning by 10 points at halftime. How are you not running the football?
That's crazy, actually.
How are you not running the football? So they need to be able to run the football against Alabama. Nussmeier cannot throw the ball 50 times because they're not going to win that way. You want to make picks for this game?
Of course.
I don't know where to go. So if you already are decided, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, those are great breakdowns of the game. Again, this is a must-win. I think just off of the eye test throughout the season, I've not been high on Nussmeier at all. I said that when they go and play a good team, they should have lost to Ole Miss. They got dismantled, obviously, last week. When they play good teams, I feel like they're going to choke. This Alabama team hasn't looked great, but I trust Milroe more than I do Nussmeier. And I think that Alabama, just the expectations they've had over the last decade, they got to answer that call. Alabama fans it's kind of been a question mark with DeBoer. I think I just trust Alabama slightly, even though they're on the road. And I think LSU's just been a little bit fraudulent all year. And I'm going to go with Alabama on the road in a tough, I wouldn't be surprised if it's an overtime game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I just think if Alabama doesn't, this is kind of like the Ravens, if they don't beat themselves with penalties and just stupid mistakes, they can win this game. Yeah. But if they if they give LSU opportunities to stay in the game, then it's going to be a long day. Give me Alabama. They need to just not shoot themselves in the foot here.
They got to come out buttoned up.
They really do. That's the only thing. I don't think if their best football, Alabama's best football is definitely better than LSU's best football. Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Give me Bama.
Yeah. That's our college football picks, our matchup
game,
of the week.
actually.
We got some good games. There's also a couple other good games that we talked about that aren't on our slate. A couple of games to kind of look out for. BYU, maybe in a little bit of a trap game according to the Vegas odds. Army as well, only 5.5 point favorites on the road. undefeated. We'll see. This again, college football has been exciting to say the least all season.
For sure.
Another banger of a Saturday.
Then we have our underdog slip this week. We are hitting this one.
I mean, we're coming in hot this week. So,
we are coming in really hot. We have 4 props. First, if you're not on Underdog, get on Underdog. Use code WOOD. Get a $1,000 deposit bonus. Put all $1,000 on this.
I agree.
Starting with George Kittle, over 55.5 receiving yards. He's hit this in 3 straight. He's pretty much doubled this number in 3 straight. George Kittle, over 55.5. He's hitting that in the first half.
I agree. Moving on, I'm going back to back. They call me Jordan. 96.
I think I had him, Lamar, like before you had him last week. I had him for passing the week before.
We're going.
He's coming through.
We're going 3P.
Coming through for us.
We're going 3P. Okay, we're going to the Bulls at a 90s twice
tonight.
Lamar Jackson over 219. A little alternate spread or prop, but 219.5 yards. He's destroyed this. I think like 8 or 6, 7 or the last 8 games. It's not even close. And last time we saw these two teams play, it was a track meet. I likely to see it again. He's throwing over 219 yards, guys.
I agree. Jared Goff over 20.5 completions. Jared Goff has been very consistent. He hasn't really had to throw that much, but I think this Texans defense can keep it close, stop the run a little bit, make Jared Goff throw. If he throws for 25 times, he's getting 21 completions. So just give me Jared Goff over completions, easy completions. He's got that for sure.
Yep. And then lastly, this is also hitting. I got Russell Wilson over 216.5 yards. Are you kidding me? First 2 starts.
Got Mike Williams on your head top.
2 good tight ends in Freiermuth and Washington. A good back. He's throwing for 250 yards in this game. He's gone 264 in his first start and then 270 on the Jets. Give me Mr. Unlimited. Over 216.5. Those all 4 hitting. If you sign up, I believe you get a free prop.
Sunday night.
It's,
Jared Goff, I believe, over a yard.
There it is.
So if you don't want this 20.5 completions, you can just wipe that off and just put him for over 1 yard. I think you'll get that.
There you go. That's hitting.
That's hitting.
That
is hitting, and that is episode 22 of the season. 22
episodes already.
2 chains. But I got me a few on.
I might get that tattooed on me.
2 chains.
I don't have chains, but if I did, I'd wear 2.
Titty boy.
That's the episode.
Right. Yeah, we're dumb.
We are dumb. But all of the picks are right that I made, and my props are hitting. That's all I know.
Ravens play football today.
He's going to the game.
It's going to be nuts.
Hey, as long as Lamar throws for 220 yards, I don't care what heck happens.
I hope the Ravens win.
I mean, it is a close race in the division right now.
Can't lose to the Bengals, the Bungles.
Well, I mean, you already beat him.
Yeah. You can't lose to them. Ever.
At Cincinnati. I mean.
Who they?
Where they?
Where they?
Where they at?
Where they at?
Who they? Who they?
Where they at? Oh.
Who they at?
Where they at? Oh.
Oh, gosh, we're losing our mind. It's fine. Football, we love football. Weather's crisp. Football's in full effect.
Season.
And Antonio Brown is on a generational run, and that's all that matters in the world.
He did it. All those tweets, they worked.
He might be the sole reason for the election.
He might be.
He posted a picture of him along with like Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, all these other like famous speeches. I was like, this guy is out of his mind.
He was in Pittsburgh recruiting people or getting people registered to vote.
I mean, he had to have had like at least 20% of.
He's the reason Pennsylvania was red. He's the sole reason.
All right, I think we ended on that because that guy's an idiot, but we love him. We love you guys.
We do. We appreciate
Ravens play tonight, and he's going to be there. And if they lose to the Bengals, Tuesday will be a great episode.
No, it won't.
Oh, big game matchup of the week for the Steelers. Carson Beck sucks.
The last time I was in that stadium, we lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
Luckily, you're not playing the Chiefs. You're playing
I wish
the
we
Bengals.
were.
Well, you did earlier in the season.
Yeah, but they suck.
Dude, all right. Let's get out of here. We'll talk to you guys on Tuesday. Enjoy the weekend. We love you. Good luck to all your teams out there. Unless they're, the Commanders, we're about to beat y'all. It's fine.
We are Commanders.
Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Show your grandma the episode. Show your dog. We don't care. We want to grow. We love making the episodes. We put a lot of work and time into them, so we appreciate y'all watching. And we'll see y'all on Tuesday.
Bye.
Peace out.